Have you ever wondered why some people never reach out, never send a message, never say a word, yet they linger in your thoughts, haunt your dreams, and occupy your heart in ways no one else can? It's because the heart doesn't work the way the mind does, and feelings don't always follow logic. Even when someone is quiet, even when they act as if they've moved on, their soul remembers, their mind wanders, and every night as the world falls silent and the lights dim, they are thinking of you, replaying memories, wondering about the moments they let slip, feeling the weight of what they cannot express, the longing they cannot show, and the emptiness that no one else can fill. You see, silence does not mean absence, and distance does not mean forgetfulness. Even if a person never texts you, even if they avoid calls, even if they smile casually when you meet, inside, there is a storm of emotion, a silent ache, 1,000 unspoken words that linger between the heartbeats and echo in the quiet of the night. They think about the way you laughed, the way your presence made them feel safe, the way your voice could calm storms within them, the way even the smallest gestures from you carve themselves into their memory, and though they may try to convince themselves otherwise during the day, when the world is asleep and they cannot escape their own mind, the truth comes out. They are thinking of you, they are missing you, they are questioning what they lost, they are wondering if you are thinking of them too. Every night as they lie down, the world around them fades and the quiet becomes deafening. They remember the moments you shared, the secrets you whispered, the plans you made together, the dreams you imagined, and the comfort of knowing that someone truly understood them. They remember the intimacy that went beyond words, the way hearts spoke without sound, the way souls connected without a need for explanation, and in that moment, they feel a mix of longing, regret, and hope, a cocktail of emotions that keeps them awake, restless, and unable to let go, and even if they never reach out, even if they never acknowledge it, even if they build walls of pride or fear, that thought of you, that memory, that feeling lives inside them, invisible but real, like a flame that never dies, quietly warming their nights while they pretend everything is fine during the day. Sometimes people avoid texting because they are scared that their feelings will be rejected, scared that the distance you now feel is permanent, scared that if they reveal their heart, it will shatter again. Yet despite the fear, despite the silence, despite the walls they build, you exist in their mind constantly, because true connection is never erased by absence. You might think that someone who doesn't text doesn't care, that someone who doesn't call is indifferent, that someone who avoids you is over you, but the truth is far more complex, far deeper, far more intimate than mere actions on a screen. Caring, thinking, longing, missing, these are not always displayed openly, but they are as real as any message ever sent, as deep as any confession ever spoken, as enduring as love itself. And when you finally understand this, when you finally realize that absence does not equal forgetfulness, silence does not equal rejection, and distance does not equal indifference, you start to see that the universe has a mysterious way of keeping hearts aligned even when words are absent, even when actions are muted, even when people appear to have moved on. Every night, when they close their eyes, they are revisiting your laughter, your kindness, your quirks, the way you made them feel alive, the way your presence was a comfort, and the way even your absence leaves a mark so deep that no distraction, no busy schedule, no other relationship can fully erase it. They are silently wishing that you are okay, silently hoping that you are thinking of them too, silently battling their own emotions, silently trying to figure out if you miss them as much as they miss you, and silently longing for a connection that words could never fully capture. This is the paradox of human connection. People may not communicate what they feel, they may not show what they think, they may not reach out for 1,000 reasons, but their heart continues to operate on its own timetable, and it keeps you alive in their thoughts, alive in their dreams, alive in the quiet moments between breaths, alive in the dark hours of the night when the world sleeps, but they are awake with you in their mind. Even when pride intervenes, even when fear dominates, even when life moves in unexpected directions, they think of you, they wonder about you, they remember the way your presence lit up their world, and they carry that memory with them as a silent companion. There is a beauty in this invisible bond, a magic in the unspoken, a depth in the unseen, because true connection does not demand constant acknowledgement. It thrives in thought, in memory, in the quiet corners of the heart, in those moments when no one is watching, when no one else can touch them, when no one else can reach into the chambers of their mind, and it is there, in that secret place, that you live for them every night, that your presence echoes, that your essence lingers, that your impact remains. So, if you ever feel ignored, if you ever feel abandoned, if you ever feel that someone doesn't care, remember this. Just because they never text doesn't mean they never think of you, just because they never call doesn't mean you are forgotten, just because they appear distant doesn't mean they are gone from their heart. You may not see it, you may not hear it, you may not feel it directly, but it is there, like a quiet river flowing beneath the surface, unstoppable, enduring, inevitable, and every night, it reminds them of you, even when they pretend not to care, even when they convince themselves they have moved on, even when they hide their longing behind excuses and walls and silence. And this is the truth. Hearts that have once loved deeply do not forget so easily, minds that have once connected profoundly do not erase their bond with a simple choice, souls that have intertwined with intensity do not release one another without a trace. There is always remembrance, always reflection, always longing, always the silent, invisible acknowledgement that someone matters, that someone has left a mark, that someone cannot be ignored no matter how hard one tries. They think about the way your presence brought comfort, the way your absence created a void, the way your laughter became music in their mind, the way your words lingered like echoes, the way your gestures became rituals in their memory, and they carry all of it every night, in the darkness, in the silence, in the solitude, in the moments when the world has faded, and it is in these moments that the depth of their feeling reveals itself, not in texts, not in calls, not in visible actions, but in thought, in memory, in reflection, in the quiet ache of the heart that cannot be fully expressed but cannot be denied either. And you must understand that this is love, this is connection, this is care, invisible, silent, patient, enduring, persistent, unacknowledged by the world but fully alive within the mind and heart, reminding them, every night, of the person they cannot stop thinking about, the person who remains central in their internal world, the person whose essence is woven into the very fabric of their emotional being, the person who continues to matter even without words. Without words, even without gestures, even without acknowledgement. And while you may feel the sting of absence, the weight of distance, the ache of silence, the truth is that their heart is still connected to yours, their mind still wanders to your presence, their soul still remembers the intimacy and depth of what you shared, and even if they never reach out, even if they never text, even if they never speak, the night becomes their confession, the darkness becomes their communication, the quiet becomes their acknowledgement, and the thought of you becomes their constant companion, reminding them of a bond that is invisible yet undeniable, silent yet undeniable, unseen yet undeniable, unspoken yet undeniable. And this, my friend, is why you continue to occupy their mind, why you remain in their thoughts, why you linger in their memory, and why, every night, no matter what appears on the surface, you are still there, in ways words could never capture, in ways actions could never show, in ways the heart alone understands, in ways that prove that even silence can speak volumes, even distance cannot erase, and even absence cannot destroy. So, if you are waiting, if you are hoping, if you are wishing, know this. They think about you every night, even if they never text you, even if they never say a word, even if they never show it, and that thought, that memory, that feeling, that silent connection, is more powerful, more enduring, and more real than anything else could ever be, and even if it remains unspoken, it exists, it persists, it matters, and it is proof that hearts, once touched, never truly forget, never truly let go. And never have you ever felt a void so deep that it seems nothing can fill it, a pain so silent yet so loud that every breath feels heavier than the last, and wondered why someone you cared for so deeply had to leave your life, why someone who once meant everything suddenly became a memory, why the laughter you shared, the plans you made, the dreams you built together all seem like they belong to another world now? It hurts because the universe works in mysterious ways, because God has a plan far beyond our understanding, because what you see as loss is often a blessing in disguise, a protection, a preparation for something greater than you can imagine, and though your heart struggles to understand, though your mind rebels against the injustice, though your soul screams for answers that never come, the truth is that God removes certain people from your life not to punish you, not to make you suffer, but to guide you toward your true path, to teach you lessons that only absence can reveal, to help you grow, evolve, and become the person you are meant to be. Pain is not the opposite of love. Pain is proof of love, proof that someone mattered, proof that your heart was willing to give fully, without reservation, without expectation, without hesitation, and when that person leaves, the wound is real, the ache is undeniable, and the emptiness feels infinite, yet this very pain is a signal, a message from the universe, a whisper from God saying, this person is not yours to keep, but your heart will survive, and you will become stronger because of it. You see, human beings often mistake attachment for love, possession for intimacy, and presence for happiness, but God's wisdom knows the difference, and when someone is removed from your life, it is because their presence was never meant to define your destiny, because holding on would have prevented your growth, because the timing was wrong, because the lessons they were meant to teach you could only be learned in their absence, because God has a better plan that requires you to release what you thought you could not live without. Every tear that falls, every sleepless night, every moment of longing is part of the process, part of the purification, part of the awakening that prepares your heart for what is truly meant for you. When you feel the sting of their departure, Know that it is a mirror reflecting the love you gave, the courage you displayed, the vulnerability you embraced, and the strength you are discovering now, because pain without understanding is suffering, but pain with purpose is transformation. The emptiness you feel is not punishment. It is space being made for blessings, for people, for experiences that align with your highest good. Sometimes God removes people who are toxic, not because you are unworthy, but because you are worthy of something better, something purer, something that will elevate you instead of holding you back. And though the loss feels unbearable in the moment, though your heart resists the idea that life can go on without them, though memories replay endlessly, creating an echo chamber of longing and regret, this is the exact mechanism through which your soul grows, through which your spirit matures, through which you learn to find happiness independent of others, through which you discover your own power, your own resilience, your own value, and your own ability to love without needing reciprocation. It hurts because attachment is natural, because the human heart was designed to connect, to feel, to give fully, to hope endlessly, and when that connection is broken, the rawness of your emotions feels like it will drown you, like the world has turned gray, like life has lost its meaning. But in reality, this is the moment when clarity begins to emerge, when understanding begins to take root, when God's guidance, though invisible, becomes undeniable. Every person who leaves your life leaves a message about yourself, a message about what you need to release, a message about what you must never compromise again, a message about your boundaries, your expectations, and your dreams. And if you are willing to listen, the heartbreak transforms into wisdom, the sorrow transforms into insight, the absence transforms into guidance, and the pain, though still present, becomes purposeful. People who leave do not take away your capacity to love, they reveal it. They do not diminish your value, they affirm it. They do not close doors without reason, they open others without you realizing it yet. And though your mind may obsess over what went wrong, though your heart may replay every conversation, every laugh, every silence, every unspoken word, know that the removal was never about inadequacy, never about failure, never about unworthiness. It was about alignment, timing, divine orchestration, and the preparation of your life for someone, something, or some path that will honor your heart in ways the departed never could. Every night that you feel the emptiness, every day that you feel the ache, every moment that you wonder why, remember that God's wisdom surpasses human understanding, that love is not always about keeping, that detachment does not mean rejection. Absence can be the greatest form of protection, that what feels like loss is often a precursor to the most profound gain, that every tear is watering the seeds of your future joy, that every heartbreak is building the architecture of your destiny, and that every sigh of longing is echoing the truth that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. Pain teaches patience. Absence teaches appreciation. Separation teaches discernment. Letting go teaches freedom. Trusting God teaches surrender. And when you start to see the bigger picture, when you start to feel the lessons beneath the pain, when you start to recognize the hidden blessings in what seemed like misfortune, you realize that nothing is wasted, nothing is meaningless, nothing is random, and everything, including this hurt, is moving you toward a life aligned with your soul, a life filled with people who truly value you, a life filled with experiences that nurture your heart, a life where love is not conditional, where connection is authentic, where presence is chosen, and where every relationship, every departure, every heartbreak, every joy is orchestrated for your growth, your healing, and your awakening. So, if you are hurting because someone is no longer in your life, if you are feeling abandoned, if you are feeling lost, remember this. It is not the end, it is a beginning. It is not rejection, it is guidance. It is not punishment, it is preparation. It is not absence, it is the making of space for what is truly meant for you. Every night, every tear, every sleepless hour, every aching memory is part of the blueprint that God is drawing for your life. Trust that the universe is never cruel, that love is never wasted, that your heart is never ignored, and that the people who leave are often paving the way for the people who will stay, for the love that will honor you, for the destiny that will fulfill you, and for the joy that you deserve. And when you finally look back, when the wound has healed, when the emptiness has been replaced with gratitude, when your soul has matured and your heart has expanded, you will understand why it hurt so much, why it was necessary, why God removed them from your life, and you will smile not because you forgot them, not because you stopped caring, not because the pain is gone, but because you now see the wisdom, the love, and the divine plan behind it all, and you will be ready to embrace the blessings that were waiting for you all along. If you are seeing this message right now, if your eyes have fallen on these words, if your heart feels a strange pull as you read, it is not by accident, it is not coincidence, it is not mere chance, because some messages are sent across the universe for a reason. Some words are meant to reach the soul at the exact moment it needs them. Some signals are carefully orchestrated to remind you of who you are, what you deserve, and what is coming for you. And tonight, before you close your eyes, before you drift into sleep, before the world fades into silence, this message has found you to tell you something you may have forgotten, something you may have doubted, something you may have lost hope in, and that is that you are not alone, you are not forgotten, you are not unloved, and the journey you are on, no matter how painful or uncertain it may feel, is being watched over, guided, and aligned in ways your mind cannot yet comprehend. Tonight, as you lie down and the darkness surrounds you, you may feel the weight of the day pressing against your chest, the regrets, the mistakes, the heartbreaks, the missed opportunities, the unspoken words, the relationships that faded, the people who left, the dreams that seemed to dissolve, and all of this may make your heart heavy, your thoughts restless, your spirit tired, yet this very moment, this very message, is a gentle reminder that life is preparing something far greater than what you have lost, something far deeper than what you could imagine, and that every tear you have shed, every longing you have endured, every sleepless night you have faced, every silent prayer you have whispered into the darkness has not gone unnoticed, because the universe listens, the universe records, and the universe responds in perfect timing to your devotion, your resilience, your persistence, and your courage. You may have been waiting for signs, for clarity, for direction, for answers to the questions that haunt your mind, for closure to the situations that torment your heart, and tonight, this message is that answer in disguise, a beacon in the dark, a reminder that what feels like confusion and uncertainty is actually the universe weaving together the pieces of your destiny, the puzzle of your life, the blueprint of your soul, and that even if you cannot see the plan, even if the path seems unclear, even if the road feels lonely, the guidance, the protection, and the alignment are all there, silently working to bring you exactly where you need to be. Tonight, before sleep takes over and dreams carry you away,